Thank you for bearing with us as we get the sound issues sorted out here. I had thought we got these all taken care of. As it turns out, not the case. We now have my voice, and we now have music. This was exactly how I had it set up previously, but for whatever reason, it didn't want to work until I put my own ears on it and listened to it myself. But okay, nonetheless, now you can hear me listening this afternoon. Evidently, I'm quite loud, so I will turn the music down and myself up. Thank you, Supermod, for providing this appreciated so much as always to get this started. How about now? Turn down the music. We're working on it, Dr. Purple. Thank you. There you go. Give it a second for the delay, and we should now have appropriate volume music. Or a little bit better. How's that, Dr. Purple? Testing, testing. Can you hear my voice and the beautiful music that we have in the background? I'm getting the 1 second signal. The music is now super quiet. Thanks, Dr. Purple, for being our backup. We appreciate you. So we've got music and me now. Excellent. Awesome. It is very difficult getting our message out from this deep in the void, and we appreciate you working with us to make it happen every week. Now that we have contact, last week our spacers were stuck deep in the Rusted Labyrinth, and now they've made their escape, taking parts of the ship with them, and they are making their way towards an unknown and unquestionably inhabited planetoid called Swanion Diva. As they make their journey, however, there is more than a little bit of time to pass. Swavi, what have you been up to in the days since you've left the Rusted Labyrinth?
Well as attuning himself to some of the items he got from there, he would mostly be, one, maintaining his weapons if there is such a means to do so on the ship, making sure that they're ship-shape for wherever they may end up next. He would also, if no one else would offer, take up the role as resident cook. Not that he's particularly good at it, but if no one else will do it, then he's eager enough to do so. So, he might have been making food for other people whilst here as well. Other than that, though, he's mostly just been chilling out. He doesn't really have anything else to do. He'll sometimes linger about around his crewmates, trying to see if, they're on for hanging out, just for lack of anything else to do. He's a bit bored and just kind of hangs around the ship, unless anyone specifically asks him for help.
Swavi the homebody hangs around cooking. Oh, also, just for this particular episode, viewers, our dear Swavi won't be emoting that much as our Katie Beldy is traveling and doesn't have access to her emotionator. If you don't know what the emotionator is, There it is right there.
Yay, thank you, Maud.
So, Jane, what are you doing in the days after leaving the Rusted Labyrinth?
Nothing. I didn't blow anything up.
Absolutely not. Definitely
No, I
didn't blow
didn't.
anything up, for sure.
I woke up like that. It was like that. I woke up like this. Well, I've been working on some writing about Swavi. Not about Swavi, but about a character named Davi. I don't know. I tried to talk to Laura as much as I can because she's not in my head and I'm a little lonely, but she seems to get a little annoyed after I knock on her door like 12 times a day. I think that's her threshold. 12. After that, she throws things at the door, and sometimes I'm afraid she's gonna hit me, but that's okay. I helped organize all of our shared stuff, and I helped Swavi build the bridge, and please don't tell Swavi about my book. Anyway, that's all. I have a stuffed animal now. His name is Donovan.
Donovan. How charming. Nareth, while you've been moved across the hall, what have you been doing while, Swavi and Ein and Jane and Donovan get on with their own?
Well, I seem to have lost the visuals on the actual screen itself, but that's fine. I don't need to have that. So Nareth pretty much. It's as though the minor interaction she had with people on the adventure in the labyrinth has completely taken all the energy out of her. So to the extent where she pretty much completely retreats into her room. She reconstructs one of the security drones that she salvaged and has the other damaged one for spare parts. Security drone, I presume, spends the majority of its time in her room. She doesn't have anything worth protecting, just the way she likes it. And then she would venture out in the middle of the night for food and resources, much like a post-apocalyptic wasteland dweller in the middle of a ship. The only thing of note in terms of, unless other people seek her out, the only thing of note that she would do is she would seek... She basically spends a little bit of time soft-stalking Lore. Because
I
Lore...
saw it. It's true. I saw it.
Yes, she's not subtle. She does not have a good stealth score whatsoever. So as a result, what ends up happening is that she just kind of observes, doesn't say a word, and if anyone acknowledges that she's there, she just leaves. And what basically ends up happening is she basically seems, and anyone with a degree of insight would know that the reason she's doing this is because this weird green person keeps telling me I'm doing magic. I disbelieve her. What is her end game here? And is trying to get a bead on that.
So this strange green person is also living next to you.
Yes, which is also deeply traumatic for this poor feeble mechanic.
Speaking of, last but not least, Lorcas, you have been up to a whole heck of a lot ever since stepping off the Rusted Labyrinth, have you not?
I have not stopped going. Yes. Laura has basically dismantled the wall that separated two of the rooms so that she could make one mega room, and then proceeded to turn it into a wizard room, which is a sight to behold. There's writing on the walls, there's writing on the floors, there are items, spell components strung all over the place, so much paper. She brought back a ton of journals and stuff, and a few of them have just straight up been gutted with the amount of she'd write something on it and nope, this can't stay in the book, this has to come out and be pinned to a wall. There's scrolls everywhere that she's been studying and transcribing into a spell book that she has crafted, which is the room is a disaster upon first look, but it is very, very evident there are a couple of items in here that are of extreme import, and she takes a great deal of care. The spellbook being one of them. It was a very thick journal that she had picked up off of the Rusted Labyrinth, which has since been decorated, possibly, is what people might call what she has done to this poor thing. And there is a beautiful quill of the quills that she has picked. This one that's very beautiful. It's got kind of this like silvery oil look of the feather, and it glows slightly green with the magic that she has imbued in it, and she uses it with her spell book to do a great deal of stuff. The other main difference is that there is now a winged cat hanging out with her in her room. It perches on top of various things. There's been a shelf hastily kind of attached to the wall above the bed, where it likes to perch. It sits on top of her storage unit, and sometimes it just sort of hangs out in various corners or on her lap or on her shoulders. And these are the big changes for Loricus, who also active late into the night, frequently falling asleep at her desk instead of in her bed. Her bed doesn't look used very much, but she does also venture out. She's not as antisocial about it. When she goes out for food is usually when Suave, she can smell, has made something. It draws her out of her little lair, and she comes ravenously, very, very appreciatively eating whatever it is Suave has made. Doesn't matter what the quality is. She's all for it.
Suave, what
It
are your...
smells in Laura's room. It smells like magic in there.
It smells like lore.
Oh, it's weird.
Suave, do you have a specialty?
Specialties, whatever the fuck's in the fridge. May have a specialty, but I doubt we have the ingredients for it. He loves to make himself he calls it mac cheese and cheese. It's basically mac and cheese, but with a lot of extra cheese.
That sounds delicious.
But I doubt we have the ingredients for that.
That depends on what you
whatever
found in the Rusted Labyrinth. I mean, I'm sure they had several fine cheeses. It's the mac I think you would have trouble finding.
Yeah. No, you would have
Probably
just tried
other
to make
dried
the best-
noodles.
cheesy noodles. You probably would have just tried to make the best of whatever was already in the fridge.
Do you want help making noodles into different noodles?
If you'd be so kind, maybe. But,
Let's
as
have a
well.
scene here real quick, maybe. Here's a fun thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
as
Laura will
well,
come
before-
find Suave.
Before
In
I
the
go into
kitchen.
that as well, DM has failed to point out that Ping has had a makeover. Hello,
Oh, yes.
new map.
Ping has had a bit of a makeover. New map, new top, new bottom. All the same old fun functionality.
Amazing stuff in our rooms now.
Yep.
Oh, where is everything?
The fridge of colding is up here. So what you see
Right.
now more clearly in the kitchen is that it's designed to be sort of a galley buffet style for a family, perhaps, but there's nothing immediately in the offering in the serving trays unless you put something there.
Oh, yeah, Suave would probably just be cooking away, you know. If we have any fresh produce, just kind of chopping that up, rolled up sleeves, you know. Again, humming a very poorly sung song, just.
Yeah, and Laura will wander her way into the kitchen. She's gotten hungry earlier than the scent has reached her, and she will find Suave hanging out there and just kind of greet them like, "Hello, are you making food? Should I wait?"
Ah, no, I happen to be preparing what I'm going to put into the toilet later. Yes, I am making food.
Like, you get a
I mean,
stone
that's
faced,
not-
just stare from Laura at first when you first say that, and then she goes, "Oh, this is a joke."
I just want to point out that there's no lies detected in that statement, though.
Also true.
Can I help you at all? Do you have any requests or?
Well, I don't have any real requests. I appreciate that you do so much cooking. Is it a thing that you enjoy, though?
Maybe in another life I might have become a chef, but I don't know. I just mainly do it for just feeding myself. It's cheaper than buying store meals, you know.
Well, we don't have that option here, so it seems good.
It is a skill, however, and let's see how good you are at it, Suavi. You
Oh,
said you're chopping
well,
something. Give me a sleight of hand.
I'm gonna help.
Oh, you're gonna help? You're helping him chop?
I-
How are you
like-
helping him
like-
chop?
So Laura has come in and is like, so I have a minute while I wait for some of my ingredients to soak. I need them wet for the next step, and I could certainly provide a hand here. You do so much for us. What can I do?
Tell you what, if you can take the meat out of the fridge and start cutting that up. Yeah, you're not vegetarian, are you?
No, I am eat whatever is available.
Oh, brilliant. We're very similar in that regard then.
All right. How do you want the meat chopped?
Just if you can dice it into like, bite-sized chunks.
Certainly. And I will start to cut things up. I don't think I have a spell I can use to cheat on this, but I will start chopping this up.
All right,
DM,
since
would you
you're
mind
helping.
rolling on my behalf? My character sheet, of course, is being a little bit funny with me.
I do not mind at all. Ooh, nice that she gave you advantage. That's an 18. You do very well at julienning those vegetables, Suavi. They're beautiful.
Just like my auntie used to make.
Could have gone to culinary
This is a
school.
thing that I have heard. People teach food down through their family.
Aye.
So you have this experience as well.
Yeah, nothing too complicated. I probably wouldn't stand up too well under pressure of a professional kitchen, but as a home cook, I'd like to think, my Aunt Ivy taught me well enough, yeah?
Is this the one thing? Is there many things?
Well, I have a few things I enjoy doing. Whether I'm any fucking good at any of them is another matter entirely, but yeah, I don't like to brag about my other hobbies too much. I'm a simple man. I have one job.
This is a very good job as far as I can tell. It has been all good. What is your favorite?
What, my favorite hobby?
No, of the foods.
Oh, how familiar are you with the concept of macaroni and cheese?
I know of it.
Well, imagine that, but instead of it being half mac and half cheese, it's like a third mac and 2/3 cheese.
So, extra cheesy.
Certainly.
Well,
Suavi
I
likes
think
it
there
with
was some cheese. There was some cheese brought back from that Rusted Labyrinth. Why have you not made this yet?
Because one, I save it for special occasions, and two, it's not really that nutritionally balanced, and if I have it too often, it gives me the farts, so...
This does seem not good for your stomach situation then.
Nah, It's a common thing among elves being lactose intolerant, but I just, cheese, it's addictive.
That is odd. I don't understand the biology of some of the rest of this world. Makes very little sense you would eat something so delicious and it harms you in this very strange way.
Things being so good and yet it hurts. One of the many things that's pretty common about a lot of lives. You learn to live with it.
Is that your life philosophy?
I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Especially since, elves are meant to be fairly long-lived anyway. Humans seem to manage pretty well with, 100 years. Or at least on the less developed planets. Once knew one that was 250. He was a right
That
old
is
geezer,
amazing.
though. Yeah, advanced technology, medical advancements, some bio-cloning, yada yada. You know.
Fascinating. Ron? What is the next thing that you need done here? I have the meat.
Oh, you've done a marvelous job with that, thank you. Probably the next thing would be putting it all in a pan. Got some oil, didn't we?
Alright, I can do that.
Yeah, if you could heat it all together in the pan with some oil, and I could prepare the. We do have noodles, don't we?
There are some in the dry cupboards.
Right. Yep. What
So
about you? What...
strawberry.
No. That's enough questions about me. What do you like for hobbies then? What do you do? Do you cook often or?
No. I research. It is what I do.
Well, I can tell that much. I peek my head in sometimes. Hope you don't mind. I have no idea what any of that stuff on the floor means.
Yeah, Jane leaves the door open sometimes after she comes in asking things. I mostly attempt to keep it closed, not out of a sense of my own privacy, but because I am aware that some of the incense and the herbs and whatnot that I burn might not have a good fragrance for everybody else.
Oh, so that's why
Smell
the
bad.
hallway. That's why the hallway smells like the back end of a laundrette every so often.
Side effects of good research.
Not that I complain. It's a lot nicer than the smell coming from my bedroom, probably.
Sometimes Laura's bedroom smells like basement.
Oh, good morning, afternoon, Venin.
Hi, Ide. My friend. You guys, you guys make, what in the heck is you making?
Simple noodle stir fry.
What?
It's just another food.
A very simple noodle stir fry. Not much authentic to the dish, but it's nutritionally balanced well enough.
Bobby, are you making it?
Well, yeah, but Laura's been helping a bunch.
Can I try it? Laura, if I try it, are you gonna go back in my head?
No, this is not psychic nutrition. I don't know what would happen to you if you tried this. Do you have a component on your body that would excrete things that you put in your mouth?
Yeah, I can eat whatever. I mean, I only get nutrition from psychic energy, but I can still eat whatever. Sometimes when we're doing our warlordian schools, we eat some of the people that we put in the furnaces. So put them in the furnaces as like a rite of passage. You'd be surprised how good elves taste.
Well, there you go.
Let me know when you stop, when you go right more. Also, these great steaks.
I'm glad you enjoyed
She's a
things.
character. She's a character, isn't she?
Indeed.
That was
So
definitely an
Suave.
attempt at a compliment, by the way. She tried.
It's a very good attempt. Suave, question. Is the rap sheet that we'd read on you the live a good, fun life philosophy in action?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
The rap sheet that we'd found in the database with all those charges.
Yeah.
Is that you living the fun life?
Might be. Certainly pays well. Could ask you a few
Paying well
questions
is
about
good?
yours, though.
Eh,
It's infrequent work, but when it does come around, it comes around with a fair bit of a reward attached. So yeah, it allows me to live the fun life. Not a lot of work hours, a lot of money. You know.
that seemed to be quite a few things listed on yours.
Aye.
It is interesting that you change it up so much.
Well, you take work as it comes. You can't be too picky with whatever opportunities come in. You know.
What is it that happened to get you exiled in this fashion?
A lot of things that culminated into me getting sloppy and getting caught. But what about you? Your own file's a little bit more redacted.
Yes, I suspect I understand why they did that.
Well, I'll share mine if you share yours.
I've already seen your file.
Well, then you share yours.
You have already seen my file.
Well, what's all the redacted bits then? None of that but mine.
The redacted bits are due to an agreement between my culture and the Arera. There is information out there being guarded due to beneficial desires from both sides. There's a
Sensitive
cousin
information.
aspect of my people that are not good, and if they were to be, if they were to come into control of this, it would be bad. It would be bad for all of you. And so my people, they protect it, but they protect it in conjunction with the Arvera, because the Arvera believe that they should be the one in control, and it is an agreement that was reached for the two of them instead. This, unfortunately, is usually set up in such a way that the people are not supposed to really know about it.
Hmm. Well, you know, as long as that's the reason, and not that your crimes are that much more terrible than mine, which is a bit hard.
Crime isn't that I was. Mine is a bit confusing because I had authorized. I went through all of the right procedures. I was authorized to travel. But people get very upset about things. Apparently, more than I had understood.
Suave, you've seen her do things that upset people. Roll an intelligence check to see if you can recollect, maybe, put two and two together.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll it for you?
No, I could figure this one out.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, Never mind. Go ahead.
I do it to help people, but that apparently is not a sufficient reason to do it. It is not allowed at all. They got upset, and now I am here.
I see. Well, all I can say then is I'm real fucking sorry that you're stuck in this tank with me.
It
But,
hasn't been that terrible.
Not yet. Just you wait until I've had a couple portions of cheesy mac and cheese.
There. We might need to ask Narath to turn the air scrubbers up.
Can you give the pan a stir, please?
Which
Extra
one is
muffin
that?
sticks.
Oh,
The
yes.
meat and veg. Oh,
Doing
that's
a
looking fun, so
okay-ish job following cooking instructions. Well, at any rate, even if your convicted skills are not something that are needed at this exact moment, given the circumstances, your hobby skills are certainly appreciated.
do what I can. I don't have a novel to write, and I don't have things to tinker or research to do. I just chilling with the dog, so I might as well cook and keep the ship running in that regard. But thank you regardless.
And I don't know that there's much more that I have to contribute to this scene, unless there's something more that you want from it.
No, not really.
Approaching
Then we can call that-
Swanion Diva. You hear an announcement over the
Oh.
intercom. T-minus 1 hour. Approaching Swanion Diva.
Alright.
Just enough time to finish cooking this and have supper then. Well, breakfast, lunch, meal. Don't fucking care at this point.
Meal.
Can you take over? I want to see if I can't get the next step on this experiment I have possibly completed before we get there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for your help.
Alright. And then I'm gonna hand the pan back over to you and head back over to my room of ridiculousness that I love so much.
Jane and Nareth, you both also heard Saya make the announcement that you were approaching Swanion Diva in an hour.
Nareth grabs her kit and starts getting ready to arrive.
I guess I'll save my file so far, and Jane saves her romance novel in production.
It's nice, Jane, because you can actually use your datapad to interface with the computer systems built into Ping. So you can write it from anywhere on the ship, but the comfort of your room is pretty nice.
Plus, I don't want Suavi to catch me, right?
Right.
I mean,
of course.
Dwavi. It's not about
Dwavi.
Suavi.
No. Suavi, you finished making your meal for everyone, and Loraikus, what experiment are you finishing up?
So I'm working on an experiment to create a caustic concoction of sort of acid, and it is a magical production of acid with the aid of this cantrip ring that I've been kind of working on. This one in particular is giving me a little bit of trouble, and so I've been trying to kind of work on figuring out exactly what it is that I'm doing differently from what the ring seems to be able to be doing. And I've got a couple of like pieces of paper and pieces of leather that are soaking in a few different solutions here, that I've been hoping can help me determine what it is that I'm supposed to be changing about the conjuration in this spell to establish this acidic formula. But mostly what I want to do is take them off the heat so that they don't burn. Because as I get here and I begin to start kind of mixing stuff up, I'm like, this is going to take way more than an hour. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't want things on fire. So I'm at least going to take stuff off of the like little heating pads that I have set up.
Probably smart.
And put things back into like their sealed containers. And then go join the rest for eventually interacting with this other ship so that we can figure out what it is. And as I go out the room, I'm going to stop and like collect I got my spell book, which, you know, it's got all these like smears on the outer side, like fingerprint smears, so that the covering of it is just dirty handprints, basically, of every time she touches it and opens it. It's just like whatever's been on her hands, it's just covered in dirty handprint smears. But you can see the pages themselves seem to be kind of like when you have like a flower book with pressed flowers in them, kind of that idea, but the things sticking out are things like string. There's possibly sand falling from it. There's just a lot of stuff that seems to be smashed into the pages inside this spell book. And she picks up her quill and sticks it behind her ear, and grabs her pouch, her satchel, and reaches out to her Tressum and says, "Would you like to remain here? Or would you like to be accessible to me?"
And what does your Tressum answer?
Well, I don't know if you want me to play it or if you want to play it. It does have the ability to understand common, and the thing is that it speaks telepathically to me.
Ah, okay. Well, your Tressum will accept your invitation. Being your familiar, it wants to go with you. So it will happily accompany you.
Alright, then it can like fly up to me and kind of perch very gently on my palm. And as it perches on my palm, I close my hand and it sucks down into a small kind of like sphere that blinks out as I place it in its extra dimensional space that I have crafted for it, where it sits in waiting for me to bring it with. I do this because we don't know what kind of dangers there would be, and I have lost my Tressum before, and that is a very painful experience, and it is much more preferred that they wait in an extra dimensional space where they've got plenty of strings and stuff to entertain themselves, and are available for me to pull out into wherever I'm at when there is not as much danger for them to be hurt.
Far less danger or potential for it when you can choose when they come out. All
Yes.
right. Excellent.
And then I will join the group.
I would encourage everybody to, if you haven't already, take a look at your accessories and your armaments, because we are using standard encumbrance now, so we are going to be leaving some of your items behind on the ship. So choose carefully what you would like and gather together. How will you
I
be?
do have that pouch of belt of many pouches,
Yes.
which is bag of holding for super small stuff. So I can bring like probably many of the healing potions,
You could probably
which I will
fit,
do.
like 24 crash in one of those little pouches, sure.
Yeah.
Yep, all of your crash is in the fridge of Colding, if you want to get a hold of that before, as you get closer. Swanion Diva, as you recall, is a planetoid that you saw when you were looking at the scanners once you got the void crystal fixed.
It is a planetoid, right.
Correct. And here's the information you know on it.
Tier 3 Delta planetoid. Yeah, in the intervening time, definitely would have shared detailed accounts with the group about how the scanning, what the scanning found, the scans had found about this place. Continue to take scans as we get closer, but that way everybody can be on the same page.
Meanwhile, I will be going around asking who wants noodles. Come and get them.
Me? I'll try noodles.
I definitely get a bowl of noodles in one hand and use my chopsticks to like eat as I walk around doing other stuff as well.
How do I do this?
Laura, you can
Can
actually
you get off the chair,
interface.
please?
You can
You can-
actually interface with the hologram that's in the center of the table and pull up the information on Swanion Diva for everybody to go over and digest as you eat.
Oh, cool. We'll do it that way.
Digest as you eat. Thanks.
Yes. Then,
Does
then,
anybody
then,
go
yes.
bring Nareth out to eat? And
Nareth is out. I
sorry.
actually had a question, DM.
indeed,
Do we have stats for the security droid that you can provide me with so I can decide what I'm doing with that?
yes, you should be able to see its sheet.
I can. I saw that it was available for me to click on, but I wasn't aware it was. Also, my thing is being incredibly laggy, so I may have to reload it, but I can still hear, obviously.
Okay.
But I see it there. So okay, I'm gonna reload it onto fire. Briefly. But yeah. So okay, if that's the case, Nareth will come out and and join everyone.
Alright. So we'll have Nareth join everybody at the table in time, and you all go over the details about Swanion Diva. You discover that the atmosphere is breathable. Not ideal, but breathable. And what do you decide? Are you going to descend with the teleporters? Are you going to land?
Can we land? I wasn't aware if this was a Star Trek situation.
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, you probably could if you wanted to bring it into the atmosphere, but you might have some concerns about getting it back out. The teleporters are probably your best bet.
Well then, I suppose we use those.
You can access them remotely
Let's-
thanks to your void crystal being repaired.
Lest anyone has any objections to that.
How do I eat a noodle? This is
I
very
don't-
messy.
So
There's
I don't
like
think I have
noodles.
any issue.
There's a bunch of noodles all over
I-
Jane right now, and she's very
normally you use chopstick. Do you see that pointy thing off to the side? That's called a fork, right?
Oh, I have one of those.
Right, you have one of those. You poke it in, you twist it so that some of the noodles wrap itself around it, and then you bring it up to your mouth and you chew it. Not the fork though. You take the noodles off the fork, you like slip it off with your mouth.
It's too late. Jane is chewing on the fork. She's fine.
As
She's
Laura
fine.
is
Jane.
sitting there and she's got chopsticks and she's eating with chopsticks and she's just like, I wonder if I'm setting a bad example.
This tastes wonderful, Swabby and Lord.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Metal grinding.
Like a gnash of Jane's teeth on metal.
She swallows. It's
Yeah.
fine. The food just kind of disappears.
Rainy FIFO
Yeah.
Hobble, thank you so very much for our very first tip ever.
Oh,
Oh my
we
goodness.
Love you so very much. Thank you.
thank you. Hello.
That's amazing.
I think that's right.
Tips
Hello.
for nudes. Thank you. And
And-
OODS. Dirty pervs.
Anyone who donates gets a free copy of my romance novel when it's done.
Called Sway, and
Hell
it's
yeah.
definitely not about Suave.
Mm-hmm. No.
50 Shades of Swain.
Excellent. All right. So, as you eat your noodles and you prepare, is everybody ready to descend onto Swanion Diva when the time comes?
I believe so.
All right. What are we doing down there?
I mean, I think it's just looking for people, really.
That is indeed a thing that I wanted, but I didn't know if anyone else, such as yourself, might have a desire for certain pots, loot, scavenge.
Yeah, I mean, my room's a little bit sad. Some posters and rugs would liven up the fucking place, but
I mean,
Other than
I thought we'd just find the first nice place we are, and then just kind of settle down forever, considering, the permanent exile.
I think that
well,
this seems a little impulsive. We also don't know if this is going to be a nice place.
Also, very
Hmm.
valid.
as well, it's a waste of a good ship. This has life support systems. It's got some comfy couches.
Did work
Even if
very
we do
hard.
settle somewhere, this ship could act as our domicile, even if we don't fly it anywhere. Or we should sell it for a bunch. I reckon this ship's worth a whole lot of credits to the right person.
We could sell the ship, that's not a bad idea.
But let's see what this planet's like before we get any long-term, housey-mousey ideas.
Does
Jane,
anybody go to see from the viewfinders as you approach the planet and see what it looks like?
is that not something we
Where
can
are
put on the
they?
holographic center?
It
Where
is.
are
Yes,
they?
you could do that too.
Whoa!
But I will turn to Jane and say, Jane, if it turns out that these individuals, anybody on this planet is psychic, please, don't eat them first.
I'm not gonna. I only eat psychic energy. Psychic
That is
energy
what I'm
thing?
saying.
I
Don't
will.
eat them.
Oh,
How hungry are you?
I'm always hungry.
You're
I don't
very
really want
hungry,
you in my
Jane.
head again. But
Oh, it's fine.
can you resist potentially eating somebody who could potentially be helpful if they are full of psychic energy?
If they're not helpful, can I eat them?
If they are not helpful, we will give you the go-ahead to consume whoever it is that is a problem.
Let's go. I will only buffet the bad ones. Let's go.
There you go. That is great.
Jane goes and turns on the Rothian Food Network because she's hungry.
No, no. That'll only make it worse.
Do we have?
Oh.
Wait, do we have TV service this far out in the void?
You've got the channel, but it's only fuzz.
Oh,
I thought we had some DVR stuff stored on there.
Sadly, no, they took your DVR. But what you do see
Oh,
in front of
those
you,
monsters!
they are truly heinous. You don't even know. What you do see in front of you, however, is a swirling swath of a planetoid, mostly looking like sandy, craggy desert. But then there's a large blue segment that seems to be covered and flourishing.
Okay, I guess that's where we're heading.
Yes.
And so you teleport down as close to the segment as you can, because as you notice when you go to teleport, you can't actually teleport into whatever space that is. It appears to be protected somehow. So instead, you get as close as possible, and that lands you here.
Do our sensors let us know what kind of protection it is? Is it just standard, shielding, or is it something intense and crazy?
It's a magical protection, as a matter of fact.
Mm.
Okay, but magic in the magic tech, or magic in the just raw magic, someone's a level 20 wizard down there who's cast magical protection bubble of doom?
Yes. You'll have to go
Ah. I see.
Just yes.
A valid response,
And now you arrive on the craggy surface of Swanion Diva, seeing rocks in the hard earth and darkness cast everywhere. There's not a drop of light to be seen.
Well, this place looks cozy.
Is there a light cantrip on my ring?
Did you put one on there?
I don't know. I've been casting the ring in cycles, is a light cantrip, a cantrip that has come up.
I'm sure it would have been. It's one of the more basic ones.
Okay, well, it's a roulette situation, so I'm gonna cast my ring, and we're gonna see if light happens.
Okay.
How do I just roll this and it comes up? Like, it's a random cantrip stored, so I think it's... I don't remember exactly how you described this, but I thought it was like a rollable table situation.
It is. Let me grab it.
Okay. And I have 11 of these rings. I have more rings than I have fingers. Fuck.
It is
Yeah,
a rollable
Srave
table
and
situation,
Jane.
but I didn't make the
And-
rollable table yet, so I'm just gonna give you light.
Okay. Okay. Srave, Jane, and Wrath, would you each like one of these rings?
What does it do?
Okay.
Srave
do we have
low-grade
to,
cantrip spells that are stored within them, and when you
No, is it
exert
which one?
yourself,
That's all
when you
what I meant.
exert yourself to cast one, it will randomly do one of the runs that it knows.
Right, I didn't know if you knew which one it was. Right, well, that feels a bit excessive, really.
I can give you a
because-
listing of what the ones are that I have documented are in the ring.
I mean, maybe,
it will
but
be
is it
one of those.
consistent once it happens, or is it just kind of it always is random and never and is never controllable?
That's a good
I have
one.
left them as random.
If it's completely random, I mean, like, I'd love to hear the list.
Sure, I'm gonna list off just... It's a bunch of cantrips.
Like, are they all like of a particular type, or is it if I need to shoot a ray of frost, I'm going to light someone?
Oh
like,
yeah, you could
possibly.
potentially do damage.
But but if I want to then cast light on someone's amulet and then I shoot them in the chest, is it a degree of control, or is it just always random?
Always random.
Then Nareth is going to touch. She's already got some, but she's also attuned to the max number of items, so isn't going to bother with something so uncontrollable.
Okay.
Yeah, do you
it's
need
fun.
to attune to them?
It is an attunement slot, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, nah. Sorry.
Okay.
I
Nareth
booked up
is
an upfront.
Nareth is going to create using her flashlight 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light.
Why did the music get creepier when she turned the light on?
Because the light is
Yeah.
obviously got an enchantment on it to be creepy.
I mean, valid.
Alright, so we're
Or is this
outside.
a slowcore version.
You are outside.
Why did... Suave? Did you just fall into mud? What just happened? Okay.
No, my foundry's being weird again.
When I walk away from you, it looks like that you become muddy.
I think that's just the teleport spot that is glitching.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there is a shadow on the ground that you see where Ping is flying overhead.
Oh,
Okay.
That's
That
a cute
works.
little detail.
That
I
is
really
nice.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I freaked out for a second and thought that,
Nope,
Suave
nothing
was suddenly in
dangerous.
a quick,
DM,
quick
what's
trap.
with this ominous pit?
Do
Is
you
it a
want to look
pit?
in that ominous pit?
Ominous
I'm going
pit.
to look into the ominous pit.
Investigation.
Do I have the
please.
light cantrip
Things
running on my ring
running everywhere.
to give me light too?
Investigation.
Yeah.
DM. Also, the security drone's
How do I turn that
stats
on?
does not have its attacks or anything it can do.
Oh, okay. I had assumed you were leaving it on
You sure?
Ping. Are you going to bring it with you?
I would like to know what it can do first. So I didn't get it because obviously I had to restart my foundry. But also, what did you want me to do with regards to the hole?
Investigation, please.
Investigation. I just realized my dice tray is like a meter away from me, and I'm incredibly lazy, so I'm just going to use the digital for once.
That's fine.
Got
The
some
animation
little
looked like it just
happening.
dropped onto the sheet, which was very amusing.
You see something massive wriggling up the side of that hole towards
As
the
if it's
top.
as if it's coming for us.
Yes.
And Nareth goes, "Okay, we're being attacked by evil mole worm things. Oh god, there's more giant holes." Oh.
And as you say that, we have
Here we go.
everyone needing to roll initiative.
Can you roll
Yay!
for me, please?
I can. Give me uno mas.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't seem to get my token to do light.
I have no active combat encounter at the scene.
Yep, I just started it. Now you get to roll.
Alright, I'm trying to get my initiative up. I've never used the digital one in my life. There we are.
It'd be super cool if Foundry would let me click
Oh.
these.
Oh. Never mind. The Foundry's loaded now.
Good.
There isn't a combat active yet though.
There should be now.
Yeah, I can see my AC. Also, they're called
Oh.
Psyworms, and I hate it.
It says combat none when I try to roll it, so you might have to roll for me anyway.
Alright,
Oh
fine.
god, there's so many of them.
Wait, Cyworms.
Tummy
I'd
is
like to.
grumbling. My tummy
I'd
is
like-
grumbling.
I'd like to inform all of our wonderful viewers that if you were looking for an excuse to Nareth to freak out and to cast some definitely not magic
It's
again,
okay, Nareth,
I
because
think-
Jane can eat them.
I think we found some fascinating moments here that I think I can find an excuse within.
Nareth, you see them beginning to emerge from all around you, and they are crawling. Let me get this started. Whee! Suave, it is your turn.
Gun.
Which one?
Maybe. For the action, my on hand, bonus action, the offhand. But
Okay.
let's see if I can. I will roll.
We've got Cyworm C is close to you, and then B is the other one in that hole.
Ooh. I will shoot the one closest to me. But I think I'm. Do I miss with that first one?
Yeah, that
I
one
get 3
misses.
AC, is that low? Okay. $13.
13 hits.
Hey. 5. To the one closest to me.
You see the one closest to
gonna
you
move.
stop moving.
I'll move forward like 10 feet and then stop. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Then it's this little guy's turn, and he just saw you murder his friendo, so he's going back in the hole. Terrified. Scared him away.
That's interesting. DM.
Yes.
Actually, I'll wait till my turn.
Well, it is your
Because
turn.
something. It turned around and went back down. Does that suggest intelligence?
Perhaps.
Can I make a check to try and figure out or confirm this?
Sure.
What check would you like me to make?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check for me.
Just straight intelligence? No, not like
know
insight
what?
or.
No, make
Or-
it animal handling if you don't mind. Or nature.
Animal
whichever
handling.
you prefer. Animal handling or nature.
Nature is higher, so I will go with nature.
So
There you go.
you have seen different kinds of animals behave in strange ways, but you've never seen a worm that appeared to be sentient like that. That's different and weird to you.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
And it is your turn.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that would take my action or not. So Nareth is going to just take the dodge action, I think. So she's just gonna shuffle in place. is what she's gonna do.
All right.
Ready to evade anything. Anything that attacks her has disadvantage, and she has advantage on dex saves.
I love it. What are you doing, Jane?
Want to eat the corpse?
Eat it. It's right
You
there.
know, that shouldn't surprise me in the slightest, and yet it
Eat
did
it.
Still
somehow.
oozing
There was
that
a
psychic
brief-
energy.
There was a
She's
brief
just
moment.
devouring it hungrily without stopping. Just no shame, just all over the place. That isn't my kind of noodles. And she just eats it. She's got her fork still from, the pieces left, the handle, that's all that's left. And she's just trying to use that to eat her noodly spoon.
I am giving you 4 points of temp HP, because that's the HP it had for consuming it,
Okay.
and a point of inspiration, because that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Loraikis,
I think the
it
only
is your
person
turn.
that ever beautiful is the DM.
Having seen the thing run away, I am going to venture a bit closer. Oh, I do have a question actually. Because new spells wasn't totally had them all in my head. Would I have been able to have, as preparation, done a mage armor casting on myself before arriving here, or do I need to do that now as my action?
You know what? In the future, if you ask me that, I'll go ahead and let you do it beforehand. You can do it now as your action, though, this time.
Okay. Then, yeah, I will cast mage armor on myself. As I get closer towards this thing, because I also want to kind of like maybe look at it, but I'm going to open my spell book, and it opens to its centermost page where there are on each page these like letterings in a circle format on each of the pages, and then one that kind of loops across the page to connect them in a third circling in the center. And as I open it, there is a piece of cured leather that I brush my hands across that appears there as the text sort of creates this green glow above it, and then the leather sort of goes green and up my arm and across my body as a mage armor shimmer takes hold. And I will now have a 14 armor class, you guys! I don't know if I am now the hardest
Yay.
person to hit, but maybe.
You are.
I-
you are.
I
Oh,
refuse
hungry.
to have armor.
I'm hungry still.
I am
I'm
now
gonna-
the tanky
I'm gonna-
person.
I'm gonna eat the rest of this while Laura.
This is my action, to be clear. I speak an elvish word, and I cast this as my action, and I'm going to walk forward and kind of look over this, and I am going to call out in common, I guess. Hello. I don't know if they can understand anything that I might say, but it's a try.
Worms.
I don't think they're going to. If they are sentient, I don't think they're going to want to be particularly near us.
Is that your turn, Loraikis?
That is the entirety of my turn.
All right. So it is this guy's turn over here, and since you are not paying attention to it anymore, and it's also seen you murder, it's going away. And then it's this guy's turn. It's getting out while the getting's good.
This is definitely a we've killed the natives of this planet situation, is what's happened here.
And Suave, it's your turn.
Oh, good. They're all fucking off. They know what's what. Right, now what? I don't think they're attacking us back.
Yep,
I'm
all
just
of
gonna
the
move
ones that
forward a
you
little
see
bit.
have gone and hidden.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my guns back in their holsters.
You know,
Alright.
I think we might have. They were weird, they were creepy, but you know what? I think it's very possible we might have just shot a native. We really need to be more open-minded with these sorts of things.
The native tasted delicious.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not the one who screamed danger and backed away from the hole.
No, I know. I made a lot of presumptions. That's very bad of me. You can't just presume. We live in a very strange galaxy, strange universe. Magic is real, much to my chagrin.
You guys.
And yes,
There's baby cases over here.
what? You mean
Encased,
eggs?
yes.
Baby
There's
cases.
encased babies.
Okay, maybe don't eat the babies. Please don't eat the babies.
Are they psychic babies? I mean, if they're mean, I said if they were bad, I'd eat them. So if they're bad babies, I guess I gotta eat them.
Okay, well, first of all,
I'll
the
resist.
opinion of whether children can be bad or good is very debatable. Many people disagree with the concept of children due to the highly overpopulated universe that we live in. Yes, it's
Oh.
impressive that we've managed to overpopulate many parts of the universe. But I
I
feel like that's a moral quandary that really isn't good for this situation, considering we may have just shot an innocent person that happened to be a psychic-looking worm or something. I don't really know what that was.
we reproduce by cloning. I don't. Y'all are very inefficient.
Anyone
I
who
mean, I
would
don't
like
think
to
it's.
know
I don't.
more about those eggs can roll nature.
I'm not really nature trained, but I feel like I'm this. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a go.
I'm going to give it a go because why not? I think they're just baby cases.
That's
While
terrifying.
they're doing that, I'm going to lay down on my stomach at this hole and kind of peer down. And
Nareth,
I have a
those appear
question.
to be the eggs of some sort of bird-like creature. They don't appear to be worm eggs. And what's your question?
You
for?
know,
So we have these amulets of communication, which, by the way, everybody should be wearing because they let us communicate with each other. It says that they also have the ability to expend a charge and cast comprehend languages. Is that an accurate thing of the item?
Yes, it is.
All
Wait,
right.
what languages are they?
just so you guys are aware, by the way, if ever we need to communicate over even longer distances, I can scrap together something out of parts. It only works for a short period of time. But I
Well,
could
the
scrap
amulet of
together.
communication gives us that, right? Over
It gives
at
you a
least certain-
mile. Gives you a mile,
Okay.
but I can make something that will function over 3 miles. And I'm pretty sure I could make it so that no one can overhear it. Because I'm pretty sure these
Alright.
amulets can be overheard. But I
Wait,
could
what?
make it so that I could speak to someone. I have to stick one side of it with me, just for the sake of keeping it apart together and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure I could make something that works over a range of a few miles.
What language is it that we're supposed to be learning? That we're supposed to know?
Anyway, we're not learning a language.
Uh,
I am going to use my magical item to cast comprehend language on myself, freely from this item, as opposed to from my own knowledge of doing so. So I'm just going to touch the necklace, and the magical energy will kind of touch my ears and give me the ability to, and my eyes, to give me the ability to comprehend what might be language occurring. And I'm going to call back out again. Hello, Riasari, are you there?
Flee. That's all you hear.
What was that?
Flee.
Flee?
Something is repeating flee, and it's getting further and further away.
Okay.
We definitely killed some natives.
How steep is this hole? Is it a straight drop?
Oh, it appears to be straight down.
Did anybody bring rope?
I don't know.
I don't know if we have standard adventure kit items. I didn't see rope. So do we just not have rope?
I don't think I have rope. I have vent
I have
tape,
rope.
if you want.
I have 50 feet of rope.
Suavi's got rope.
Okay.
What you need it for?
Do we want to attempt to contact them?
If they feel comfortable with contacting us in turn. Actually, I do have a thing. One second. I wonder if this would be of any use.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, it's only for humanoids. Never mind.
And you must be
These aren't
interested in them,
humanoids.
Suavi, unless you are interested in the
No.
wormwoids.
Nah, I'll put it on regardless. It doesn't have any charges. Might as well just, look nice whilst I'm out and about, but no.
Can everybody give me perception, please?
I was gonna
Oh.
ask. I have the dust of appearance. Let's see, how do you make what your item is appear in the chat?
Nara sees fuck all.
Nareth is traumatized by the murder.
In order to make an item that you have in your inventory appear in the chat, you click the icon of that item while it's in your inventory. So like the kitchen omni tool, you would click the fork icon.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you said perception check?
Yes, please.
He
Why?
also sees fuck all.
Swabby, do you perceive? Or no, Lorcas, okay.
I have a 16 on my perception check.
Okay, in that case, Lorcas, you cannot see the bottom of that hole, but what you can see is a soft teal kind of glow from what looks to be a dome in the distance, and you suspect it might have something to do with the large covered swath you saw from space.
And this is in the hole.
No, it is not in the hole. It is in the far well, not too far.
Oh.
It's in the distance.
Okay.
Not in the hole.
Okay, so that's on the ground level.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Well, they seemed intelligent. But you all seemed very aggressive about them.
I panicked. I
Beg
just
pardon?
they were climbing up a thing, and I just okay. After the last place, I saw something come for me, and I just kind of panicked.
Right?
So I just kind of. I mean, I had a thought. We could try and use this giant, terrible cobwebs and some aspect of this tail to like make a pseudo rope down by using the cobwebs to connect the different parts of the tail and sort of climbing down that
Right.
way.
We don't have to use pseudo rope. I have actual rope. About 50 feet of it, to be exact.
You know, this is the time I wish I had the security bot because it could fly, so it could at least like give us a rough idea of how far it is.
Well,
How far
alternatively,
down do you reckon?
Rome is over that way. I'm gonna point in the direction of the dome.
Maybe we start with
going
maybe we
there.
start with the dome and ask around about the worms.
Hope that the worms aren't the ones going to get the information ahead of time to the dome that we are terrible people.
I mean, I just feel like that's something that we can deal with. Are we able to be teleported from anywhere, GM?
You'll be able
From
to be
up to the ping.
yes, anywhere that you left from. So you can go from where you left. You can go from this screen. Sorry, excuse me. Jesus.
I see. So we have to come back to this area. Okay, so it's like a teleported, marked out area. Fair enough.
Yes. Unless you
Which
actually
is also the
leave
closest we
someone
could
up
get
there.
ourselves.
Yeah, unless you actually leave someone up there to like manually operate the teleporters, you essentially set it to be like, okay, we're gonna come and go from here. So once you show up there, you can interface your data pad with ping and say, okay, we're in the location, and it will send down a beam and get you.
Would
So
I
what
be
you're
able to?
saying
Yep,
is that we
Swabby.
need to get an NPC that we leave on the ship to be able to do these things for us.
Oh no, guys, I'm already halfway. I'm already halfway to that point. Could I program the security drone to act as that liaison?
Yeah, if you had some time with it more and programmed it to specifically interface with Saya, sure.
Excellent. I mean, could we not ask Saya? Saya's an AI.
But Saya
So,
doesn't
okay, we
know
could
where
just
you are on the ground.
Could we, so would I be able to make a tracking beacon for that then?
Sure, you can figure out how to make a tracking beacon somehow.
Great. Okay.
Okay, well,
Sounds
let's get
working.
headed towards the dome.
We go towards the dome.
Towards the dome.
The Dimmadome.
And as you begin walking towards the dome, you come to what looks to be a large break in the land as the holes give way to a massive crag that separates where you're standing from where you potentially could be or want to be standing. You might have to re-give yourself light again if you have light in the previous scene.
I can't see anything. It's all like a lilac, dusty purple colour.
Yours is all dusty purple, you said?
Yeah, I can't see anything. Came up with like a cryptic error message.
Oh, that's extra fun. That you might
Yeah.
just have to refresh Foundry because I'm not sure about cryptic error messages.
Okay, so what is this text? What is this? This whole like barrier looking thing on the other side of the
I think
dark?
that's just the barrier, like the dome.
Is that the dome?
Yes, that is what you can see
Okay.
of the dome.
Okay, so we are up against the dome now.
You are.
Okay,
But there
and
is
is
a large
this
hole keeping you from being able to walk directly towards it.
okay. And this looks like magic? These runes and stuff on the ground?
It does, and those blades are actually spinning, Nurath.
Oh, let's not stand inside the blades
Oh, I
then.
did not realize they were spinning. Whoopsies.
I didn't get the chance to tell you yet. They are indeed.
Okay,
As if they kill the psionic worms when they come up onto the surface.
does it look like it's spinning like it is a power generator or spinning like it is a weapon?
A weapon. Like it is a defensive, a magical
Defense
defense.
mechanism.
Mhm.
Okay.
Why can't it be both?
Indeed.
Well, weapons expend energy rather than make them, probably.
True.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you attach blades onto a windmill.
Then you just kill even more birds. This is already a problem. Anyway,
Right. My foundry is now looking like some sort of strange 90s HTML flash page.
Oh,
It's
that's
very,
fun.
yeah.
That's super fun and totally helpful.
I know.
I love that, Foundry. I'm gonna turn off a couple of optional features and see if that helps you on your end. If it maybe Foundry is just chugging a little, because I know you're on your backup. There.
Alright, how deep does this crag look like it goes? Pretty deep?
Even deeper than the hole back there.
Okay. Is this something we can see? This, like, thing off into the side over here?
Yes, it is. You can
Does
see...
it look like a light?
It looks like there are bones at the bottom of that hole. Or maybe at the walls, or maybe in the sides.
Okay. And on the other side of this dome, it looks like daylight?
It does, yeah. It's the only light you've seen for
Okay.
miles.
And it looks lush and green.
And there's a nice
Yeah,
river that
perfect.
looks like it's running down into the crag.
Can the person see us?
Maybe.
Oh, is this like the Simpsons movie where you have to climb up on the top and there's a hole?
Before we do that, I throw rock at the dome, see what happens.
Okay, roll me a d20 plus... Oh gosh, what would it be? And it's an improvised weapon, technically, so strength?
Sure.
Your rock falls short and falls into the crag.
I just do it again until I hit it. I just want to see what happens if something touches the dome, really. I'm not trying to damage it.
Oh, okay. Well, when you do finally get a stone across, you see it bounce back across with a blue bolt of almost electricity.
Don't touch the dome. Got it.
Don't touch the dome.
Okay. Right. We could try and just travel around. I don't think this is one of those things where we want to go straight through. I think we want to see if there's an entrance or an exit somewhere.
Anybody who would like to, Laura, I know especially you were asking about them, those ruins, you can roll Arcana.
Yes.
Which ruins? The
Yeah,
bones
okay,
of the
why
dead
not?
or...
The like magic stuff.
Oh, the runes. Yes. Forgive
Yes.
me. I misunderstood. Nareth, I'm going to deliberately roll her with disadvantage because she does not understand magic.
No, she really does not.
Yeah, she's a wonderful gal, is what she is.
So,
Shame she's a
Loricus,
little-
you understand that these are magical and protective, but you don't really understand why they've been placed here. But Jane, when you look at this, there's a sense of familiarity, and you notice that these remind you a little bit of ruins that you might have seen guarding entrances to places
That
where...
kitchen?
Yeah, entrances to like engine rooms.
Okay. Well, maybe there's a carburetor in there. I'm an accountant. I can't tell you too much. I don't know that much. So what do we do? I don't. Hey Darius, can you make the blade stop?
I could certainly give it a go, but what benefit would we have? All we'd be doing is jumping into a hole.
We just did that. What's wrong with doing it again?
Perhaps
We
destroying.
didn't jump into a
the
hole. We looked
things.
down a hole. We haven't tried jumping into anything yet.
And if this belongs to the people here and we want them to potentially be friendly to us, destroying their atoms might not be the best way to start that.
Well, they're protecting some energy, some engine or something down there. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's just signified. Anyway, that's some warship stuff. Enjoy it. I'm gonna go look at these mushrooms.
Let's maybe just start circling around. We've got a bit of time to travel. I think it's worth the hassle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll try and walk.
Yeah, we try and walk around to see if we can find an entrance or an exit.
Okay, so most of what you find as you try and circumvent this dome is more of the same, is everywhere you go, it is grass separated by a larger and larger gulf until you can't quite see dome at all in your vision, and all you see is gulf, and it makes more sense to start heading back around the way you came rather than lose sight. And you can go around the other way and do the same thing, but no matter which direction you end up going, you will always end up coming to more gulf than there is dome, and this is the closest you're going to get to it.
Looks like we're going in the hole, you guys.
Sorry.
And then I have one more thing I'd like to try. GM, if I may, I would like to, as securely as I can, tie my antimatter dagger to the end of my rope.
Okay. Sure.
And with 50 feet of rope, hopefully it'll bridge the gap enough that I'm gonna attempt to whip it over and see if it can like stab the dome at all, or if it'll just bounce off.
Okay. Okay. Give it a shot with your dagger, and I mean that's like a dart, so I'd say it has a chance at least. Roll something to attack.
Roll something. Okay.
D20 plus strength is the typical.
Well, my strength is shit. But okay. Would it not be dex because it's like chucking it? I don't know.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and go with dex.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, Swabi, you fling that knife, and you hear a and it sticks into the dome with a nice solid click.
Nice. In that case, we know that this dome is penetrable, which means maybe I could shoot it a bunch.
I feel like the
See what
difference
happens.
between shooting it and sticking a knife in it is a knife is difficult for it to heal from. A bullet will just pass through and then it will close again, surely, if it's an energy field.
As much as true.
Again,
What we
if
would
we are
want is
attacking this, we are going to be viewed as hostile individuals. Which maybe it wouldn't be wrong. And Laura, with that snarky comment, kind of walks away a little bit as she's going to see if she can find maybe a part in this cliff face that would be able to be climbed down.
Yeah, there are rocks sticking out from the cliff face that you could potentially hold on to and carefully scale your way down. It would take some time, and you would have to be very careful, and I would probably need a dex check for anybody who's going to make the attempt.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm just gonna yank my dagger out of the dome.
I'm just gonna do it cause suave.
You yank the dagger out, and you see that the small prick where it had punctured the dome clears up almost immediately.
Yeah, you were right, Nara. It does regenerate itself. Fucking magic.
we'd want some form of shrinkable tunnel
Okay.
or something.
Laura, as you are you going to begin climbing? Or are you going to ask your allies for assistance?
I wasn't gonna start climbing yet. I was looking for one, and then Jane apparently started climbing.
Oh, Jane, are you on the way down?
Hmm?
You rolled a check, it looks like.
She sure did. Okay,
That's
so
what it
Jane is
says,
making
so.
her way. Jane's making her way down the side of the cliff. Are you guys following along?
Yeah, sure. Although, I mean, yeah, does it seem secure enough to climb down easily, or would would it be of any advantage for me to use a rope of some description?
You could definitely roll with advantage if you use that rope to stabilize yourself, tie yourself off, and move more carefully. Yeah, you can do that.
In that case, are there any boulders or good-looking like anchors up here?
Sure. Yeah, there were plenty of rocks on just the previous, so I'll say where that shroom is, you find a nice hefty rock that's secured, and you can tie your rope off to that.
Oh, actually, no. What might be even better again is if I attempt to slingshot with a dagger again.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to chuck. Yeah, because then I can retrieve the rope afterwards. So I'm gonna try that again and try and chuck my dagger at the dome again
Okay.
at the end of the rope.
Roll to check.
No.
That one falls sadly short, but the rope is still in your hands, so you've got it.
May I try again, or?
Yes, you may. If you're just gonna, like Nareth had said, roll until you get it, then you get it. Just keep rolling so I know how well you get it. Keep rolling, that won't do it. That does it. Your dagger is lodged in there.
Eh. Alright. And then I kinda just Leroy Jenkins my way down into the hole. Kinda just Tarzan swing to the other side of the barrier.
You're gonna Tarzan swing. Okay. Give me a dexterity save with advantage.
That wasn't very good.
Suave, you make it. You get over there, but you're just a little bit too short, and you've got some climbing to do. You hit against the wall with a hard thud of your body, and you're about 10 feet short of the lip of the crag.
Nobody saw that, right? Okay, I'm gonna climb down the rest of the way.
Suave descends into the darkness with Jane. Loricus and Nareth, are you following suit?
Nareth, before she does so, is going to first examine the blades for a moment to see if she could figure out how reasonably difficult they would be to deactivate.
Ooh, okay. You know what, Nareth? Because you are what you are and you do what you do, give me a roll with your Tinkerer's tools.
Oh, I love those. I will have to physically type that in, however, because I also get to add a D4.
Tell me what that roll is sometime. Write it down and I'll make a little macro for you so it's easier. Hello! Hello, Mrs. Borg.
Cool. Do you any relation to Ein by any chance?
Oh, I didn't add my intelligence, so it's a plus 3, so it's 21.
Nareth.
And I can try and make my own macro. Actually, I'll do that myself now because I can do that.
Okay. As you look at these, you figure out that if you could have a minute with your datapad, you could probably stop these yourself.
Okay.
I mean, the ruins are etched in on the ground, but it's a local source of magic, so if you somehow paused the interface and disrupted the field, you could make those blades stop moving and descend into that hole, which is probably the way you're intended to go, if there is an intention in this creation. Somebody had to have made it, right?
Then Nareth will call out and mention this piece of information to the group. But obviously doesn't. Just sort of waits to see what they do before anything else. So yeah.
Suave and Jane have gone off and done what they've decided. But Loricus, what do you do with this new piece of info from Nareth?
Yeah, Laura was just standing here, looking and contemplating, and then these two just fucking jumped over the edge. And she just watched him go, like, okay. Didn't necessarily seem like the decision we should make. And then...
Well, you
then
go
Nareth-
into the dome without asking me, so I just do it.
And then Nareth is like, hey, we could get in through this way if we just stop these. And so Laura's just gonna stand there and be like, alright, you two. That might be actually the way over here. Nareth seems she might have figured something out. I guess if you want to keep exploring, just be able to come back up.
I have got my rope, and sure, that might look like the official way in, but normally the official way in has guards, so...
Are we trying...
I'm going to go
to
over.
find the guards? I feel like finding the guards isn't necessarily a bad thing in this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
No,
over
it's
and
the
help
real
Nareth.
scallies.
How do you want to stop these?
With that roll, Nareth, you were able to. You just need a couple minutes to make it happen, and as Loricus appears over your shoulder, you tap a few more things and the blades stop.
Okay. I wait to see if the other two are going to come along, and then otherwise wait.
Oh, while she's doing that, we might as well explore a little bit down here. Do we find anything of note in the crag, GM?
You may well notice that in the crag you see the path that Loricus and Nareth are taking, not too far away from you.
Oh, well, we'll just head over there. I'll yank my dagger out and retrieve it, and then, you know...
That's not the only thing you see.
Oh. And now I have that
I'm going
error
to look
again.
down the hole.
G-hole? I don't like the sound of that map title.
Sorry. Disregard the G.
We've descended
I love
into
the
the
sound
G
of this
hole.
one.
That's
Very good.
new episode title: Descent into the G hole.
Into the G hole.
I do want to, when Nareth stops the blades, go and look over into the hole at least.
All right, you
See
peer
if I
down
can't
into
see
the
what's
hole.
in there.
A
Mhm.
lot of darkness, some rocks, skittering, shadows.
Oh no.
You see
Can I tell how
Please
deep it
be
seems?
spiders.
mm, 30 feet, maybe?
Okay.
Not a deadly fall, but a painful one.
Sorry, Jim. I was just testing the system. For some reason, it added on an extra 2. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to delete that.
Oh,
Did it have like ladders or anything to go down?
it did. There is a metal rung ladder with a steel cage descending into the hole.
Oh,
So-
what is that? Ooh.
So we can use it. We can get down in there.
You may, yeah.
You can get down in the G hole.
Yes.
You and Nareth can go down the
Um,
normal way, while Jane and Suavi kind of climbed in.
Is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
assume that we've
giant.
like communicated because we have amulets of communication to make it so that we can talk to each other about these
Do the
things.
amulets
And,
go through
we're gonna
rock?
crawl down.
You could probably hear each other if you yelled. It's echoey in here.
Okay. Is that a giant alien spider, or is that just a corpse of a giant alien spider? It's very hard to tell.
It sure looks like one, doesn't it? Roll investigation for me.
Okay.
Can you actually get through there, or does it stop you?
I haven't tried because there's potentially a giant alien spider in the way.
Fair enough.
And I believe I can. I'm fine.
Okay, good. You do notice there's a giant alien spider body there, but it is not moving.
Lovely. Oh, it's another dead giant alien spider. Maybe those worms weren't nice.
Give me investigation. Or well, no, perception, everybody.
Okay.
I need a detect
Could you
life
for me,
spell.
please.
Yes, I can roll that for you, darling.
I've kept my mask of attractiveness on just because. Makes no odds to me.
Oh, wow.
Makes me feel more confident out in the field.
Gosh,
19,
y'all.
20, 20. 17.
So you all notice
Ooh.
that not only are these spiders not actually dead, they were never alive to begin with. They look stuffed. Very well done, but they don't appear to be real.
Does it seem like an amusement park?
No.
It looks
I'm not fucking
horrifying.
amused.
It looks absolutely horrifying, and at a glance, you wouldn't have been able to tell. If you didn't get up close and actually take a good look, you would have thought that was either alive or a dead spider.
So
Oh,
is
I
it
feel-
stuffed as in it used to be alive and has been preserved to look alive, or is it fully crafted from like not living material
Fully
very
crafted.
convincingly?
Yep.
Okay.
Totally non-living, but very convincing. Even down to their
Just
like
like my
eggs.
soul.
There are even eggs scattered around on the ground that similarly are, if you touch them, they're soft and felt-like to the touch.
This
Oh.
is very strange, Narath.
Maybe intended to ward off intruders?
It obviously doesn't work. Look at us.
But that's because they didn't move and also we're lunatics.
I don't
Oh,
believe that that is true.
hello.
You find where Suavi and Jane have descended from the crag.
Oh, hoi hoi. These things look pretty realistic, don't they?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, this one is broken.
There are even webs, as though they may
Hello.
have spun them, but those are
Oh, it's more
Does
baby
this
cakes.
broken one? Does this broken one look like broken on purpose, or broken like something freaked out
Found a
and
ladder.
broke it?
I
It looks
found egg.
Oh,
it looks broken as though to suggest it was alive and wounded in a fight.
Okay.
And Nareth
All
found
right.
the ladder.
I guess, nobody here has arachnophobia, right?
Not
well,
really.
if we did, we'd all be pissing our pants. So no, I don't think so.
Really hope one
Yeah,
of you would
what
have
is-
told me before now.
What is this?
What indeed?
DM, if you could move me closer towards Nareth. My foundry isn't loading.
Damn foundry. There you go, hon.
We see as Suavi phases through a wall.
Suavi's only using 0.1%
Like-
of his true power.
Can I make a check for what this is? It looks like either a duffel bag, an oxygen tank, or just a very oddly shaped mushroom.
I think we're gonna go with oddly shaped mushroom because it shouldn't
Okay.
be anything.
Cool. I don't know. I have to ask,
No, always ask.
It's a skateboard, duh.
Guys, the
Or
worms are
kickflips.
skaters. They must perish.
He was a spider.
do not
She
find
was a spider.
A stair.
I've not found any stairs myself. No, I've only found the ladder.
A second ladder. at
Well,
that.
where's the ladder?
Just the first. Where was the second? The one where we came in from?
The first was the one you came in from. The second was the
Oh,
one you
yeah.
found.
I meant
Where?
in terms of the new ladder. I don't count old ladders. That's old news. We don't care about those ladders.
Where's the new ladder?
Just over here, next to where Jane is. Jane is sitting on top of it.
Well, that's why I can't see it. Jane, you're blocking the view.
I'm sorry your eyes are so crappy.
You're just very large. I'm gonna crawl the ladder up.
You gonna crawl up
Jesus.
the ladder?
As large as she needs
Yes.
to be. Leave her alone.
And the rest follows.
Coming from a tall elf, being ridiculed for one's height is not a fucking joke.
All right.
I can't help that I'm big guy.
You begin crawling up the ladder. And you emerge from what looks to be a hermetically sealed tank cover?
GM, we have fog of war on, so I can't see the actual map. I have to clear it through as if I'm blind. Like, I can't just. If you're okay with me just sweeping through, I'm happy to just sweep myself across the entire map.
Oh yeah, that's fine, especially for this one, for where you are.
Cool, because otherwise it would feel a bit odd if we couldn't see across the street. What is this billboard?
That's a billboard that has a sign saying Twilight Glen Cafe, East.
Why does this give me like Stranger Things vibe?
I'm sorry I went inside of a wall, DM.
That's okay. That's also a yield sign and a sign for Twilight Glen Cafe, along with several lovely trees. You can see you're now on the upper side of inside that barrier behind behind the dome.
Y'all.
GM, I have found a way to escape the confines of reality. Just thought I'd let you
not
know.
again. We've spoken about this. You're not supposed to escape
I
the
just
confines
really
of
want
reality.
to. I want to see what lies beyond the veil of truth.
Back in my
I feel like
universe.
Nerith would actually want that.
Nareth would not want that. Nareth fears that, and Nareth is going to be forced into the cruel, cruel, dark outer universe of the Elder Gods against her will.
Back in my universe you go.
This place can't be all that bad. It has a cafe, you know.
So this is
It's
this
alright.
is a billboard for a cafe, and then this is like some sort of like road sign or something, because we're on a road.
Yeah,
It says
that's a yield sign.
Yael Day. It says
Okay,
Yael
Nareth.
Day.
Nareth lies down in the middle of the road and waits for death.
Okay.
No, she's not actually, but I was. So what was it? What is it that we want to be doing? Also, I really feel as though I should be able to see further than 60 feet away from me. It's very odd when Jane suddenly vanishes despite not being invisible.
Is there like where the dome, edge of the dome is or something? Is it obvious that like that direction will take us further inside?
Yes, that there's a nice big arrow on the billboard indicating east and directing you on that side of the road. It's obviously a advertisement for this restaurant, so it's leading you directly to it. And then there's
Then
the
we should,
opposite
like,
way.
go
Go
there.
later too. And who do we have to thank for carrying a whole bunch of fucking credits around? Can eat like kings at this cafe, probably.
I mean, I
Probably
feel like we
did,
ate
so.
earlier. I don't feel like eating again. That just feels a bit excessive.
Oh, don't have to eat or anything, I suppose, but oh, if they have any coffee.
Nope, sorry,
Have a
again,
nice
I'm
cup of coffee.
fiddling with macros. Please ignore me.
That's alright.
Well, let us go and find out.
And go we shall in about 5 minutes. We're gonna take a quick 10-minute break, everybody. Go ahead and wash your hands, go to the bathroom if you need to, get a snack, stand up, stretch, and then we will be heading to the Twilight Glen Cafe.
Whee!
back, listeners, as our intrepid crew arrives at the Twilight Glen Cafe. Everyone, you approach this building, and it looks to be standard red brick, towering above you, maybe 12, 15 feet tall, with a nice patched white roof, lovely trees in bloom on either side of the front door, a fire hydrant, paved streets. Seems to be a lovely sit-down cafe, bustling and busy, open and full of guests.
Okay. If you just unpause the game, we can head off.
No. You have escaped the bounds of reality too often.
Oh, how could you? We are trapped forever.
It's all your fault.
You know, I'm sorry.
everybody-
I
Nice knowing you.
Turn on Nareth.
just... you know, valid.
As Nareth is like, fuck this cafe, I'm going down the street.
Are these doors? I can't tell.
That's a window.
Ah, windows. I understand the concept of windows.
Windows,
Those are
yes.
just more difficult doors.
Jane,
try
as
hard
you
enough.
walk in, you see a tan blonde woman standing at the front desk.
Oh
and
god, you guys.
her eyes widen considerably as
We
you
just had
approach.
2 of the most alien people walk in. Why didn't we send Suave first?
They're so racist.
Yeah. I also have my mask of attractiveness on, so that would have been a
And
good
you
idea.
weren't the first!
Right,
Howdy?
can you move me inside, please, GM?
Shit!
I'm still unable to join Foundry.
Sorry, Laura. Suave's dancing.
Nareth,
Yeah, what
I'm
does
gonna. I need to roll a d20 for a brief moment. Please give me a moment. Because I need to. I need to decide if Nareth is going to say the words "I come in peace."
Howdy. Y'all don't look like you're from around here. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, sorry, no, we aren't from around here whatsoever, but, thank you for your hospitality. Do you do coffee here?
Yeah? Would y'all like a table?
Oh, yeah, table for 4, please. I wasn't sure
I
if this
come
was
in
the type of
peace.
place where you sit down first, so... Nareth, shut your fucking face.
You're a strange one, ain't you? Yeah, you can come on in here. My name's Susie, by the way. And she leads
Hello,
you to a
Susie.
table.
Suave.
Oh no,
Pleasure
I'm
to
gonna
meet ya.
mentally recheck the thing about this planet, its ranking level. Are we supposed to not be giving them alien encounters?
You're here already.
I know, but like,
We're on
Oh,
the edge of the
no.
universe. What is law? What is order?
okay, that's fair.
I'll get Marie right over here and she'll take your orders. If there's anything I can do, don't hesitate to ask. And you see that
okay.
the contents of this cafe have slightly turned their attention towards you. You are undoubtedly the strangest beings in here. But not the only
as the
There are
person-
other races, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat for Jane to sit down next to me, and then I'm just gonna be like, right, everyone, you let me do the talking, alright?
Nareth turns to Suavi and says, "Suavi, tell her we're cosplayers."
I'll tell her whatever I fucking tell her, and you lot have to keep up, alright?
Okay.
Why would you tell him anything? Who gives a shit?
Exactly, thank you, Jane. But
I just don't
If
want
there
to be
is any
arrested.
we aren't gonna be any.
You were arrested and put in prison. Shit. Why are you upset right now?
Shh, shut the fuck up.
As the server shows up.
Could I get y'all some waters?
Yes, please. I'd love some water. Thank you.
You see a
That would be
woman in
lovely,
a
thank you.
pale pink outfit, elf, maybe half elf, Suave, and she's carrying a hot apple pie in her hands, or at least it smells like apple, and offers you water. Would you like anything else to drink?
No, but what do you got
You
there?
have any-
lass? Smells like a nice pie.
Oh, Yeah, would you like a slice?
Yeah, sure.
I'll have
Do you
Rodham
have
cut
any?
you one.
Do you have any
That's lovely.
psychic? Anything from with
Jane.
psychic bases?
No, they
Uh,
won't, Jane.
Um,
I'll get right on
I'll
that
take. You know
pie.
what? You know what? I'll take a piece
We
of
will
pie.
take
It's
a
fine.
rotter. No, we will take a rotter
Ah.
cockroach with leaf for our friend Jane here.
Oh, a water cockroach with a leaf. Yeah, we can do that. All right, I'll be right on it. And she hurries away back into the kitchen.
Is there a bathroom
Jane.
around here with a sink? No, I don't want to
Jane.
hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No,
I wash my hands.
You read the menu, and it has the information on the menu.
There were a few menus she left in front of you before she ran off. And you can see their offerings.
I just wanted
Laura's
to
just
wash
like
my hands.
confused, like, you read the thing! Why does nobody seem to understand? You read the thing! They gave you a thing to read! Read it!
So, Lorcas, let me tell you about my world. We just are automatically fed by a mothership. We're efficient.
Shush, 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 shush. We
I
have
know
no
they have
idea.
Sorry,
they have
that
trash
was
here,
there.
you guys. You guys, they have crash here. Someone's already been to this planet.
Crashes everywhere. What do you mean?
Like, is crash literally everywhere? Like, as in it's perpetually everywhere and is under no circumstances not everywhere, DM?
Hmm.
In Laura's experience, crashes everywhere.
Crash
Right, okay,
is
okay.
everywhere, but you're not wrong, Nora. There's crash here.
Okay. Wow, this food is very expensive sometimes.
I have a lot of credits, it's fine. And, Jane, I thought I made it clear that, like, I was gonna do the talking. We have no idea if the whole psychic shit you can do is acceptable around these parts. Be careful, alright?
Yeah.
The waitress returns with your waters and some slices of pie to get you started. Is that good for y'all? Do you need anything else?
I'm
No,
fine for
thank
now,
you.
thank you.
My pleasure. You just give me a holler if you need nothing.
Thank you very much.
And she goes off to tend to this other table, which you can see everybody was kind of looking at you to begin with, but now they've returned to their own conversations.
See? And that's how you do it.
feel like
This
we're gonna get
time-
arrested by someone.
Well, you will if you keep that attitude up. Jane, try not to eat the fork this time. Don't eat the fork. Just use it to pick up other food. Like, watch everyone else do it.
You
Swan
all
was just gonna
erroneous
dig into his
people
party.
want to be like you, and then she shoves the whole fork in her mouth and is digested.
And there goes
Oh.
Jane's fork.
I ate this with my hands, like my ancestors would have wanted me to.
I am
Probably not,
deeply
actually.
concerned by you sometimes, Jane.
I don't care. No, and then she just devours her fork and probably a napkin.
Swabi's
can I-
going to enjoy
can-
his pie like a civilized gentleman.
It seems like Jane is upset about something. Is it what Jane seems to say she's upset about, or is it something more?
She's being talked to like a kid because she doesn't understand anybody's culture and she's getting frustrated.
Aw. Poor
Jane.
Oh,
I ordered a thing from the menu for you specifically. It says that the cockroaches will release psychic energy. So
thank you.
And as you say that, Lord
Maybe
Marie
it'll
turns
help
back
you.
up with Jane's dish and sets it down before her. Here you are, ma'am.
Thank you.
Of course. My pleasure.
I'm gonna wash my hands with the little alcohol bottle that I still keep in my pocket.
Oh, if you need the facilities, they're right there. And she points in the corner. Right over here.
Wait. Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
My
Ooh.
pleasure, ma'am.
You're very pretty. Your dress is
Oh.
pretty.
Why aren't you the
Thank you.
sweetest?
Wow. This is very nice bathrooms.
We don't see Jane for the rest of the trip. She's just in the bathroom forever now.
Just enjoy.
They have very nice. They have wonderful soaps. They look
Oh.
like little shells.
Also, Suave, since I know you're having a little technical issues, the menu that you are able to open in the Twilight Glen Cafe includes filtered bean water, grilled lake trout, crash light, crash orange, mystical dairy chunks, shine ray vitalite,
Mystical
skewered
dairy
duck
chunk.
tongue, spiked
Mystical
eggs,
dairy chunks is 200 gold.
sweet funky
I'm
leaf
gonna.
juice, tarantula salad, water, and water cockroach with leaf, if you are hungry.
Oh, I think I'll just enjoy my pie for now.
The void's
Laura
too
did
loud for you.
accidentally buy one of the very most expensive things on the menu in order to make Jane feel better.
It's okay. I appreciate it. I have all of the money. I think.
So, yeah, cool. I did screenshot it into the channel for you, Suave, to be able to also see.
Thank you very much.
We found a cafe. What do we do now?
Well, if you want, again, leaving me to do the talking, I could perhaps ask around some of the locals, see what this place is like. You know, what's going on, if there's anything here of note.
Yes.
No more
Find
than
out
that, yes.
where, if they know where they are.
That's a bit hypocritical considering we don't.
Just so you
They
guys
might.
know, I tried both of the bathrooms, and the one on the left is better.
Right, thank
Oh
you.
my
Thank
goodness.
Um,
Jane, actually, that's a question. Do you have a gender? Is that a thing for you?
I mean, I'm cloned from the quote-unquote female side of my ancestors.
I guess that would make you technically female, I suppose. Unless you identify otherwise, I just thought I'd just
I mean,
question it.
I suppose I'm a woman. I am Wolthian. We don't have any purpose for sex, so I don't know.
You know, that's valid. You know,
I
with all the world consuming and the like.
I really just relate to the people in my romance novels that get swept off their feet while wearing beautiful dresses.
I see. I think I see.
It's just delightful. This food is amazing.
I see.
well, you're gonna give them a fucking $100 credit bill on forks at this rate. If you keep on going through them at the rate you're going.
Okay, I'll stop eating them.
And then she's gonna hack one up that's still in one whole piece.
Oh, that's not what I meant either. No, not in public. Regurgitation in public is not generally a thing that's assumed to be normal.
Oh, whoops.
It's fine, as long as you know for next time. Try not to do that too often in public. Well, once I finish my pie here, will I just, take a mosey, ask around a bit?
What are we
Probably,
looking for?
I think that's probably the best idea. It means that we don't have to rely entirely on just what we can pick up and the like. I think it's probably best.
I really need to just make an out of character remark that there's like an elf that's just like straight north, like the northmost table, and he's just showing just a little bit of hip. And I'm like, oh my. Oh my.
Oh, Jane's getting raunchy.
Jay, that is a young
I-
punk.
And he's
I need to
eating a
know.
mango.
Oh my god, Jane's gonna go through her rebellious phase, and her rebellious phase is gonna be entirely through the medium of that one elf. Oh.
I think
I
he might be
require.
staring at you, Jane.
Oh my god, no, don't do this. Don't do this to us.
Who isn't staring at me? I'm beautiful.
And then she keeps devouring her food.
Suave's going to just kind of quickly but politely finish his pie and stand
Is
up
this
from the
books?
table.
I need to know if this is books.
Yes.
Laura's
They're
been
all
looking around. There are books. Laura's going to the books. She's been looking around. She's like, all right, I will I won't talk to anybody, but I'm going. And she goes to the books.
Go for it.
Yeah, she's. Whoops! She can't walk. That was my bad. Sorry.
You take out a book called Katie's First Satanic Summoning.
What the fuck? I'm gonna flip through this book.
It seems to be a children's book, actually, about a girl named Katie and the first time she summoned a demon. It's a charming little tale about how she made her first friend with her
Nice.
first summoned demon.
You know,
It's
making
also-
friends
look at the
is a
rest of the
difficult
books
part
over
of
here.
life.
Are the
Uh,
other ones just as like demonic?
Nope, you see another book that's called Dawn of Quixote, which is what you know to be a very famous adventuring and traveling book. These are some of the most famous books you've seen in and around the verse. Pretty common coffee table books, I'd say.
So this place has met other parts of the verse, which is the thing that I guess they just don't get it. I guess it's like small town America vibes, where it's not like they've never seen an alien, but it's like they just don't have.
I did detect a southern accent. Mhm.
Yeah. This is what I think I've started to realize what's really going on here.
Space, Texas.
What y'all talking about?
Justice in the space.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just look through these books for anything. Give me a clue as to what the deal is with this place, because that first book wasn't entirely one that I was expecting to find here. Or the second, quite frankly. Super popular books.
I like your dress.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Just gonna
You
check
found
out
another
all of
called
the books.
Tongues, Tissue, and Sinew, which is a cookbook about how to use offal and other different parts of various animals to their complete and least wasteful.
I contemplate whether or not I think Suave might like it. But I'm not gonna try and steal it at this moment.
In this moment.
You get the gist that they're around for people to peruse while they're here, and it is a cafe. It's made for people to sit and stay, so you're welcome to enjoy the books while you're here.
Okay, well, my enjoying of the books is I am going to, like, rummage the entire bookcase while everybody else continues to do stuff.
Okay. Suave, you finished your pie?
Yeah, I stand up. Who all do we have here in this room? I can't see too well.
So, to the east of you, you have what looks to be a pair of dwarves conversing over a full table that seems like it was set for more than just the two of them, but is now just whittled down to two. And they're having a rather hushed conversation. And then straight ahead of you appears to be a couple of gentlemen who are quietly talking and snacking alone. Once in a while, you see one of them, the smaller one, glance over in your direction and then murmur something to his companion, who doesn't turn around, doesn't look around, doesn't seem to take his eyes off of the elf that he's sharing company with. And the table beyond that is the one that Jane noticed, a young punk named, well, you haven't found out yet, but he also appears to be an elf sporting a semi-mullet and a vest, and he's watching Jane very intently. A table beside him is another young girl who has now turned to watch Lore. She was reading previously and just kind of sitting there picking at her food reading, but now she's noticed Lore's there and she's watching her. And then over by the bathrooms, you see a couple of ladies who have gathered apparently to eat lunch or whatever meal that might be, and have stopped talking since and are just kind of observing the general vibe of the place, much like you, Swappy. And then there's also Susie Ann at the hostess stand, and you see Marie, the waitress, running around from table to table now and again.
I reckon I'm gonna go back over to Susie.
Alright, you go back out the door towards Susie, and she's just standing alone in the foyer. Hello, sir, can I help you?
Hi, sorry to bother you again. I hope you're not busy, but I had a few questions.
Oh no, nothing at all. How can I help?
Um, you were able to tell we aren't from here, and we aren't. We're from far away. We're here, kind of just scoping out the area. We're traveling around, looking for cool places to see, things to do, on a bit of a road trip, you might say. I was wondering if you had any, suggestions or knowledge on any cool places in the area, what the people here are like, all that sort of thing.
A, a, a road trip, huh? I can't say we get a lot of folks coming through town on road trips, but, well, I, I guess the radio station's the newest thing we've got. It's not real fancy or anything, but Cecil does a good job with it, and, I mean, that's real about it, sir. I'm sorry. There's a convenience store. Used to be a gas station, but now we don't have the gas pumps no more, so it's just a convenience store. And well, there's some little shops downtown if you fancy. But yeah, I guess the radio station's probably the only sight we really got around here.
Oh, fair enough. Is this the only place like this out here? Like if we went out and into the dry bits for a while, would we find anywhere else, or?
Well, dry bits.
Yeah, beyond the thing.
Sir, what are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. I'm tired after a long travel. Don't mind
Right.
me. I
Yeah,
talk
you must
nonsense
have been
sometimes.
driving a long time or something, right?
Oh, long ways, long ways. I doubt you'll know where I've come from. It's like really obscure, really far off.
Oh, you're probably right about that. I never been out of my small hometown.
You know anyone who has?
Oh gosh. Not anybody who comes around here. Maybe Cecil. Maybe Carlotta. Carlotta's probably not from around here. She comes from a big city.
Big city, right? Where can I find them? They sound interesting.
Carlotta's usually hanging out with Cecil at the radio station.
Alrighty. Oh, sorry for taking up your time. Thank you very much for that.
No, not at all. You let me know if I can get you anything, alright?
Certainly will. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Then I'll head back over to the table.
Alright, you do. Jane and Nareth,
Alright.
what have you been doing while Suavi was away having his combo?
I feel like Nareth is just trying to figure out to what extent this place fits in like interactions with the rest of the verse. Just because it's such a vague middle ground, you know? So
Indeed,
she's
I
trying to
do.
figure out if it. Yeah, so is it possible she can make some kind of check for that, or?
She's actively looking for reasons to understand this, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Investigation, then, please.
Investigation. Okay. Here we go. Because I get a D4 to my investigate checks. Ooh, it's a
Oh!
nat 1! Although you don't run with nat 1's auto-fail, do you?
No, but just that you can't think of anything or consider anything at the moment, other than this is just very strange to you, and it's flummoxing and perplexing and occupying your mind in a way that is frustrating, but you can't make any headway with it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, good to know. Okay. Just trying to see if there's anything else.
Jane, what about you?
I think I ate all my food. I'm just gonna kind of sit here and look around and try to make eyes at this man whose hip is showing.
Did you enjoy your water
But-
cockroach with Leaf?
Yes, and I look at the hip of that man over there.
That man is looking back at you.
Somehow she blushes. Somehow, through her alien exterior, she is blushing.
Starts making
I
his
think-
way over to you.
I think the
Ah!
ref leans over and says, "Okay, I cannot believe that I am the one to be saying this in this moment. But you need to stop freaking out if you want to actually try romance."
Is Suavi returned to the table by this point, or was this during him talking to
I think
Susie?
he's returning to the table at this moment as he sees somebody
Oh,
start to
okay.
approach. What would
Okay.
Swabby do if he saw somebody else start to approach their table?
He'd kind of just give Jane under the table a light like prod on the leg to sort of get her attention and be like, be careful.
So Jane, you see this being come up to you. They're about 2 claws shorter than you, with a bright floof of crimson hair, and chewing something. Gum, maybe? But he says, "Hey, you, name's Joshua."
Hi.
So
Hi,
hey,
Joshua. I'm Jane. And this is Swavi, and this is Derek. They're my friends.
Hello,
Cool.
Joshua. It is a pleasure to meet you, and to be in
Hello.
your lovely hometown.
Right. Cool. Cool. So, Jane, yeah, it was cool seeing you. Never seen you around here before.
I've never been here before.
No. And he sits down where Lorcas had previously been sitting.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you're showing your hip. Is there a reason? Is there a reason? Is it cool? Should I do that? Is that what cool people do?
He kind of laughs and he looks down at his hip and then looks back at you. Yeah, that's what cool people do. You seem cool, Jane.
Jane's blushing and just silent. Her mouth is just slightly ajar. She's just like,
Well, hey, I hang out here a lot and I like hanging out with cool people. So, yeah, if you ever want to hang out. And he stands
Yeah.
up, but first he slips his hand underneath the little centerpiece that's on the table. Just quickly slips
Oh.
his hand under there and then stands up. It's cool meeting you, Jane. Real cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Did Jane see him do that? I assume she did.
Oh yeah, he didn't make it subtle. It was very obvious.
Okay, she's gonna grab whatever's under there and try to hide it. Like not try to hide it, but try to like look at it before, without anybody seeing what it was.
He slipped you an anti-ill pill. He left
He
a
gave me drugs.
yes.
Wow. I don't know how to respond to this. Hold on. Let me think about how Jane would respond. She's gonna be like, "Oh,
He thinks you're very cool. And
Oh.
left you that.
Oh.
Somehow
Right
Jane starts
there.
making a weird purring noise that she's never made before.
You defy all understanding sometimes, Jane. How? Jane sort of turns, because Suavi's right next to us, right?
Yeah, he's right there.
She just turns to Suavi and just says, "Does this mean, surely, that if Jane can be considered attractive, what does that mean for me? Am I that unattractive? Is that what this is? I didn't know I wanted
No.
any degree of attention from anybody, and yet this is somehow the worst."
Narrate. Everyone has a different taste in what they find attractive. It's a highly subjective social thing. You will find someone who finds you attractive, you just haven't happened to stumble upon them yet. there could be quite a niche, niche little appreciation for your lovely large eyes and your smoothness of your scalp.
I
There's
would
someone
rub that
for everyone.
scalp.
Yeah, see, Jane would rub it. I don't know if that's your thing, and obviously consent's everything, but
Scent is very important, but okay, this is just very strange for me at this point. Okay, never mind. I'll just.
It's okay, Dareth. I don't even have parents, and I think it's hot.
Right.
I don't know how that relates.
I feel like I feel like that deeply leans towards explaining a lot, actually.
Well, the lack of mummy or daddy issues if you don't have either, I suppose. Eh, Jane?
I guess. I mean, I'm cloned. I'm a clone of other DNA, and I think something's wrong with it, because especially since I could hear, since Lorcas was in my head, I've been having feelings, and that's pretty weak, because we're supposed to be like the most superiorist, warlords, and now I'm like sitting here and I like you guys, and I think I do, or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that lead to? What is that?
I don't want to think about it. So let's and Jane starts washing her hands very nervously.
Well, about that, you might want to keep your voice down talking about that sort of thing, because I have no idea. I couldn't gather much information about how interconnected this place is, but apparently if we want to find anyone who might be, we ought to look for the local radio station and talk to the people there.
Maybe we could talk to Joshua. He's apparently my new boyfriend,
Well, move on quickly, but yeah, we could. I don't know how long anyone else wants to spend time here. If you need some charisma lessons, I can certainly give you some tips. Not that it's universal advice in any sense, but
Oh, Suave, I'll take your tips anytime.
well,
Jane is more charming than usual, even, Suave. You're compelled by this. It must have something to do with that strange water cockroach with leaf meal.
well, that aside, thank you for the compliment. Where is Lore?
We found a bookshelf, so that pretty much led to
Oh,
everything
of
you might
course.
expect.
Oh, I should probably tell her what I found out as well, and see if we have any sort of plan. Could sit here and have a couple more courses, but I'm not particularly hungry.
Hey, Suave, what's bean water?
Baked beans? Well, imagine
Yeah?
that, but without the beans.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Or at least that's what I imagine it's like. That's what it was. That's how it was on my home planet, but they might have a different recipe for it here. It might be the name for some other dish that I'm not aware of. Could be bean soup, which is actually not too bad.
And you know a lot of beans, don't you?
I know a lot about a few things, but only at a very surface level that impresses people on a very shallow basis.
You know enough about beans to impress people with beans? I'm impressed by your bean knowledge.
They are a highly protein-packed source.
Are they
Thank you,
musically? I heard that they are the musical fruit.
The more
Anyway,
you eat, the more you toot.
I bet Lorcas would hate this conversation.
I bet she would.
Speaking of Lorcas, have you continued to read your books, or have you returned to the table by now?
So I'm not really reading the books so much as trying to get a sense of the books. Like, I've got a few very common, famous books here. I'm looking to see, like, I guess a little bit is the most famous book 50 years old? Are there only classics around here, or are there a lot of very recent modern things on this desk or on this bookcase?
You notice
Do all these books look incredibly aged, like they've been read a million times each, or what exactly kind of like the situation here is. I guess I'm kind of looking to see if I can't use some of the nature of the books on the shelf and the condition of the books to kind of get a sense of this place that this planet, this condition that this world might be in.
So all of these books that you see on the shelf, they are very weathered, they are very well worn, well loved. There are all classics. There's nothing here that's newer than even the past couple of 100 years. These are very much the essentials for basic reading, cafe books 101. There's some things on cooking, there's some things on adventure, there's some things on magic or technomagic or romance, but all of it is within the century that, as Nareth was pointing out, seems to be slightly... Yeah, as Nareth was pointing out, none of these books are new. They're all at least 100 years, if not 200 years old.
Okay. And they all look aged. Okay.
Mhm. And they all look well worn. Like they've been
Okay.
read very many times.
Okay. If there is any book that looks like it might give like a local guide kind of book, or anything about Maz, or anything about the nature of magical protections, anything along those lines that's maybe a little bit out of place but potentially useful, I will grab that. If not, I will return to the group after they basically have finished their last conversation.
Nothing whatsoever about space travel or space flight or alien life or Maz or anything of that sort.
Oh, interesting. Right. Okay. Then, yeah. I will go back.
All right. Lorcus rejoins the group.
Have a fine peruse.
It is a collection of very old books. They've been long used. I suspect these individuals, or this place, has been here for a long time.
Or it wants you to make you believe it's been here a long time, perhaps.
I have drugs. Apparently, I'm cool here.
My main
It'd be
theory...
weird to set up a false sense of a place through a cafe.
No, I mean that this place could be like a simulation or an experiment. Amoeboids in particular, I grew up with them. They have a tendency to not care much about people. They kind of just do, and they like to set up experiments. A lot of experiments, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
Amoeboids burn really well.
Well,
You traumatize
Considering
me
they're
with every
scared.
word that comes out of your mouth. I hope you are aware.
considering their slightly haphazard slapdash security system as well, you know, those little spiders out there. I'm not sure what to make of this place, but Laura, I'll fill you in. Talked to Susie out front, and she said that the likeliest person to know much about the world beyond this little bubble small town place we find ourselves in would probably be in the radio station, best bet. A couple of people in there who are allegedly from the big city, quote unquote. So there are other settlements outside of this one, if that's anything to go by.
All right. Do you think...
I guess we could
It's a
have
good
asked
idea to go
Joshua
talk
to
to
help
them.
us.
Who's Joshua?
He gave me this, and she picks up the anti-ill pill he gave her.
Some young elf, half-elf looking lad with he came over to our table and she flattered Jane for a bit and then offered her a pill, you know, the usual stuff.
These are to prevent you from being poisoned. Why would he give you something prevent you from being
GM.
poisoned?
GM, from my knowledge and, you know, salacious background, would I know what would happen if one were to take too many of these?
Yes,
Or
you
is
would
it like
absolutely know.
paracetamol functionally?
You would
Okay.
absolutely know that, and Suavi, you would know when you looked at Joshua, you recognized the look of somebody who had a handful of pills in their pocket and just kind of plucked out a random one.
Something I might add is that that has been dressed up to look like an anti-ill pill. It's in an anti-ill pill casing, but it could be any fucking thing that happens to look the same. So I wouldn't take it if I were you.
That you'd want to take it, Swavi.
I'm not saying that either. I don't need nothing that I don't know where it's come from.
Is there any way I can tell what it is? Can I put it in water?
Yeah, you can try and investigate this. I mean, you can.
Is it medicine?
It is yeah, I guess medicine check.
Ooh, the emotionators just went weird.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Discord. Cool.
Excuse me.
16.
Does that mean to restart my emotionator? Or...
No, it's not you, it's Discord.
Okay.
It's just Discord being Discord. That's okay. That's why we have the backups. Onward!
Yay.
So, Jane, with that 16, you discern that this is an anti-ill pill. It's correct. It is what it appears to be.
Oh, so he just gave me one of his bum pills. That's fine. I didn't buy it.
Well, in that
Must be in
case,
real life, I guess.
GM, what does happen if one attempts to dose heavily or overdose on anti-ill pills?
You get quite ill. You do not feel well.
But there's no like recreational benefit of the sort. It just makes you unwell.
Pretty much. It's a glorified Tylenol, think.
Glorified Tylenol. Okay, well, strange.
So Laura will pull out an anti-ill pill from her belt of many pouches and hold it out and be like, I brought several from our own stash because I thought that we don't know what's out here. We could get poisoned.
Ah,
he
this is
trying
something you do
tell me
notice.
something?
Lore, the ones that you have are actually in a blister package. This is the normal way that anti-ill pills come. They usually come in blister packs, singular contained. The one that Jane has is loose, which is strange, but it's the same pill.
So, is there any reason like that? Is there any like culture out there, like subculture, where people like pop these for funsies or something? Or is there anything any of us know about it? Like why it'd be out of the blister pack? Or is it just like some guys like, I sell drugs, but they're like crappy drugs?
I think actually, Suavi, you would know this, that sometimes recreational users tend to take anti-ill pills along with things that might give them side effects in an attempt to counteract them before they have those side effects.
Ah, so it's a preparatory, okay.
So it's like drinking orange juice before you do acid or something.
Something like
Is that a
that.
thing?
Carbs before you drink, yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. Still a strange gift, though.
He
So
wants to party!
Well, you're an adult. Just be careful. You know, don't accept any drinks from strangers. Always ask consent. All that, yada yada. You know.
Jane grabs Swabi's head and goes, I don't know how to party. Don't leave me alone.
You don't. Well, if you'd like me to come with you, I shall. But I'm not sure if partying's on the top of our agenda. Much
It'd
as
be
I'd
a
love
good-
to party.
What if there's a party at the radio station? What if we don't party? Then we could make some friends.
Right, we just got here. We're all very, very foreign. I doubt throwing a party is a good idea. If you get invited to one, that's a different matter. But throwing one is like sticking our neck out of the parapets. I doubt that's a good idea.
Fair enough.
But, I don't know, what does everyone else want to do first then? The only lead I've got's the radio station. than this fucking Joshua guy, I suppose.
I think a random punk probably doesn't have the knowledge we're looking for. I think we're probably best speaking to the radio station or looking for some kind of local government. That is the best
Did
thing that
you
we
just
can
say
do.
local mutants?
No, I was about to mean like municipality or something, but I'm bad
Oh.
at words.
I mean, I don't know if we should trust any of them.
Well, trust can sometimes be a mutual thing. If we don't trust them, they don't trust us, and then it's a vicious cycle of, general unwelcomeness. So, if they're being nice, we should at least attempt to be nice until given a reason not to be.
Okay. GM, real quick.
Mhm.
No one else has privy inside of Laura's head anymore, but she's gone quiet and she's looking around. Given that they have randomly been offered an anti-ill pill, and it doesn't seem like it's recreationally helpful, when glancing around at the food on their own table and the food on other tables and the situation, just the vibe of the room in general, would it be possible that this person is trying to tell us something, that there's some form of poisonous something that we're either encountering now or about to encounter?
I mean, Lore certainly thinks so.
Yeah, I'm taking one of my anti-ill pills.
I'm gonna pop my pill. Pop the anti-ill pill. Now I'm wildin'. Only I had to say
Taking
that.
one of
No.
my own anti-ill pills. So
I'm
I
gonna
will
rent something
have that
good.
for an hour.
And I guess since I have another standard anti-ill pill, it's just for an hour as well, or
Yeah, they're active for an hour.
okay. Well,
Nareth sees everyone else as being paranoid, decides to join in on the paranoia a little bit.
Well,
Do you have
if
your
you're all
own, or
being
would you like one of
paranoid-
mine?
No, I have my own, it's fine.
Okay.
If you're all being paranoid, then I can be the calm one, I suppose. Someone has to fill the role and balance it out. Can't all be paranoid at once.
How do I, take
It
one?
doesn't seem to automatically consume it when I roll it, so I just reduced the number.
Yeah,
Right,
you'll have to
I
reduce
see.
your number and then you can mark it on your character sheet.
I just didn't have it in mind, so I'll just stay neutral.
Okay, I will just... How do I delete...
Advantage.
How do I delete, not all of them at once?
Also, I just noticed his name was Joshua Tree, like the tree and the U2 album. Sorry.
Yes it is. You, instead of deleting, you hit the edit
Yep.
item button and then reduce by 1.
Fantastic.
Alright, so we've taken our anti-ill pills, and what are you doing next?
I think we were heading towards the
Radio
the
station.
word in my brain. The radio station seems to be the main draw as of yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. So as you exit the cafe, this is the next place you end up on your way to the radio station, which is the town center. You see some cars. These are combustion engine cars with wheels that touch the ground, not hover cars, and they drive at staggeringly normal paces of generally 20 to 30 miles an hour, standard speed limits within the city, and you see maybe a couple dozen people buzzing around, coming and going through the intersection with a bevy of neon signs, not a ton, but a few, and handrails that go along the passenger walkways, protecting people from stepping into the road.
Suave,
Yeah.
where is the radio station? Where are the directions?
I'd assume wherever the radio tower is, which we should be able to see from here, unless it's shit-ass tiny. Do we see a radio tower?
Everybody who wants to look for a radio tower can roll perception.
Roll for me, please.
Sure. Nareth, I'm going to again roll myself with disadvantage on the grounds that she's probably very excited by the antique combustion engine vehicles.
DM, please roll for me.
I did.
Oh, I'm watching the stream to keep up, and it's like slightly delayed, so that's why.
Yep, it's like 10-15 seconds behind. Okay, so Suave, well done. You're the one who sees it off to the east.
Yep, you see it just over there, peeking above those other little thing. You see that bit?
There's larger
Right.
trees that look like they're bigger versions of the smaller ones that have been planted rhythmically around the cityscape.
We're heading that way over there.
Well, we may as well then.
Oh, just all right.
As Suave just phases through the billboards.
I went outside of space and time. Sorry.
I mean, that has become
The
our
world
recent
of
pattern,
mighty
hasn't it?
boosh.
Ah!
No more for you. Now you're at the radio station.
Joshua Tree, I hope the place of you two. Oh.
Oh.
The winding road leads through a dense forested area where leaves begin to fall on the carpeted grounds with the bright green grass, and everything looks lush and alive, except that dead tree in the middle of the freaking road.
Also, is this techno magic that I see here?
It is. It looks
Oh.
like
Is that why
visible
Naren
radio
phased through
waves.
it?
Is that normal?
They're flying above your head, probably about 50 feet in the air, buzzing from each tower and going in the direction of town.
Maybe they're controlling the minds of the populace.
Is it
You're
normal to be
controlling
able
the
to
nice
see?
part of it.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It all depends on the technological level of the planet that you're working with and how their humanoids have evolved.
Hmm.
Nareth sort of strides ahead into the room. I'll wait for the others to catch up before I start doing anything there.
Am I able to see the beam clearly enough from the ground?
Yes, yeah, you can see it clearly from the ground.
And I would like to inspect it to ascertain something maybe about its arcane nature.
Sure. Roll Arcana for me.
All right.
Wait. Never mind.
Now 13.
It looks like song lyrics.
Okay. That seems relatively innocuous. Maybe.
Looks like song lyrics.
Mm. Alright,
Looks
I'll just
like
keep that in the back of my
somewhere.
mind. Yeah, alright. I'm being left behind by everybody else, so I will continue to catch up as they've all gotten themselves put in prison. It looks like you guys are in prison.
No, you come to an empty parking lot, and it seems that Nareth and Jane have stormed their way into the building already.
I'll follow after them, I suppose, albeit a bit more cautiously.
Alright, you will follow them into the building, and we will find out whom you meet next time on the Velocity of Pain. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate you playing. I'm so excited for you to meet Cecil and Carlotta soon. As you know, that's who you're here to talk to. But we will be starting that conversation next week. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you so much again to Rainy Fifo Hovel for our very first donation. You have made my heart explode with joy. That made my day. You have no idea. We love you so much and so dearly. And we are going to go ahead and go to our cast chat. We'll start with Nareth this week, if you don't mind. St. Hills.
Hi, I am Hills. I don't do much. I literally I have the least online presence out of everyone else here. but I am I don't really know what to say. I'm on Reddit sometimes. I need to get my Reddit username put onto this so that people can actually like look up some of the homebrew D&D stuff that I make. And yeah, beyond that, that's pretty much it. I'll pass it on to someone else.
Thank you very much, Hills. Appreciate you as always. Next, how about Swavi?
Oh, you got the theme songs going.
I know.
Which I helped make. Well, I made. All the soundtrack you hear in the background is made by myself, which is also available on my YouTube channel, Katie Buildy Music, which is where you will also find other music. I like doing medieval Renaissance style kind of covers of songs as well as my own original stuff. I am from Scotland, recently graduated. Yeah.
Yeah!
I think that's it.
Katie Buildy is amazing. Go follow them on everything. They have created all of the wonderful things that you get to listen to and a lot of the wonderful things that you get to see as well. Next, Evie Story, Loraikas.
Hello, I'm Evie Story on most of the places. I realized I don't Reddit very much, so I'm not on Reddit as that. But yeah, I play a lot of TTRPGs. I have things in the works. It's slow coming along, but if you followed me on like Twitter or something, you'd eventually find out when it does kind of come together. Otherwise, maybe I'll announce it probably on here if anything ever comes up. Mostly for streaming things, but other than that, yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy this group of people, so I am so happy to have been here today, and hope that we get to keep playing next week, despite possible problems.
We'll work it out somehow.
Check his shoes.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Getting Stabbed, aka Jane.
Hi, I'm Cassandra, aka Getting Stabbed on most social media platforms. I'm just getting stabbed. Yeah, I sleep and I like snacks and I like naps. And Jane is a sweet baby, and that's it.
Jane is a precious angel, and I love her so dearly. Thank you very much, Stabby. And then I guess that leaves me. I'm Void Egg on here and pretty much everywhere else, on Twitch, on Twitter. And I stream this. Maybe someday I'll stream another game if I ever get the opportunity. That would be really awesome. I love tabletops. I love collaborative storytelling. I love this group of people and all of the wonderful effort that they put into helping me tell these stories every week. So thank you, and a round of applause for all of you for being here. I love you to bits. And thank you to all of you as well, to our viewers, for being here. I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.